Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Discover Your Spirit with me, Brenda Reading. How is everyone doing? It has been a wowza couple of weeks, hasn't it? And here we are, the week before Thanksgiving already. Where has this year gone? Zippity doo dah, right? It's so fast. I feel like the older I get, the quicker time flies. It just is unbelievable. It feels like I was just making my Christmas list last year, and here I am doing it again. So I can only imagine how all of you are also feeling in this moment with so many things to do and so many places to be. And tonight, before we do our mini readings, which I love to do with you all, I just wanted to talk about one of our spiritualist tenets, one of the things that we all believe in as spiritualists, and that is called personal responsibility. Now, your personal responsibility, when we first hear that, of course, we think about how we act, right? How we conduct ourselves, the decisions that we make as people for our own lives, right? Our choices, taking responsibility for the decisions we've made and our choices that we've made and the things that we plan on doing, right? Hi everybody, just sit down and take a listen for a minute if you can. So we all try. I mean, we don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to be the worst person I can possibly be today, right? We all try when we get up in the morning to think, I'm going to have a good day today, and you're looking forward to seeing certain people and doing certain things. So I don't think that people basically wake up and want to ruin everybody else's day, okay? So there's that. And I think we all agree that we all have our own responsibility for ourselves. However, I also like to think about personal responsibility in the vein of how we react to other people, how we process how other people treat us. And I'll tell you a little personal story. About, 30 years ago or so, I had an incident in my workplace, and it really was very terrible. And it left me needing to go talk to somebody about it because I just couldn't understand how somebody could be as cruel and mean and the whole bit, right? And when the therapist looked at me and said, Brenda, you can't always expect people to treat you the way you would treat them. Well, you can imagine that didn't go over very well because, we're taught about the golden rule, we're taught about treat people the way you want to be treated. That's not what I wanted to hear from him. I think I wanted to hear, I'm really sorry that you were treated that way and, blah, blah, blah. But that's not what he was doing. He was trying to help me learn how to take personal responsibility for how I interpret and react to other people's actions. Now, in the moment, I didn't understand that, okay, because I was quite upset that was his answer. However, the older I get, I realize that when people don't act as we expect them to, right, or that we would like them to, that's when we also get upset or disappointed or hurt or angry, right? Because we have these expectations of how we think people should treat us or how we want them to treat us. And I know I've talked about my sister on this program before, God rest her soul. And I say that, I realized that we were two sides of the same coin, very emotional and sensitive people. And, she would say to me, well, you should know how I feel. Mom and dad should know how I feel. So-and-so should know how I feel. You should know how to treat me because you should know how I feel. And I think about that from time to time. And I was thinking about it today because I was thinking about how, we are all people And we're basically made and wired the same way if you want to get down to like cells and neurons and tissues and all that stuff. However, we do not, as individuals, see, feel, hear, or sense exactly the same way as somebody else. And there is no possible way that we could exactly understand 100% how someone else is actually feeling, how, what they're thinking. I mean, it's like what we can do for those people. Because I have a friend that is going through an unimaginable, horrible event that is just never ending. And I can't possibly understand what she's going through. And I love her dearly, and I love her family. But what I can do is take my own personal responsibility for how I'm going to react to her pain, and I can acknowledge her, right? I can acknowledge what she's going through because I can't understand it. And even if you go through the exact same thing as someone else, you are not wired 100% the same as that person. Our pain is unique to us. Our feelings are unique to us, okay? So all we can do really is to be there for people by managing our reactions and our expectations. Hello, everybody. And the reason I'm kind of talking about this is because here we are rolling into the holidays, and we're going to be seeing people, family, friends, maybe we haven't seen in a while, maybe people that we don't always get along with, maybe people that we don't see eye to eye with. In talking with my clients and, people over the last few years, we are so separated on political issues that it has literally broken up families and broken up friendships. And it's so hard, when you think about that. So the reason I'm talking about this personal responsibility for your own reaction to others, okay, is because we are going to be going into this time period, the next 4 weeks, 6 weeks, where we might be in some situations where people don't act as we would expect them to or want them to, or may not treat us the way we want to be treated. And, if we go in with the idea that the only thing we can really control in this situation is our own personal responsibility in how we manage that. How do we react to it? How do we handle it? How do we respond to it? Right? Because that's all we can control. We can't control how they're going to treat us or what they're going to say to us or how it's going to make us feel, right? All we can do is manage how we act. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm wishing you all a high degree of calm and peace and personal responsibility in the next 6 weeks to get through the holidays whole and happy and calm and blessed. That's what I wanted to say today. So, it's like just giving you that little heads up that, we can't control other people. All we can do is control how, and we don't have to accept it. It's like those unkind words or those unkind actions. We are Teflon, right? Because that's their stuff. We don't have to, suck it in as empaths or intuitive people. We can just agree to disagree, let it go, and go on our merry way, right? Because we are all individual, just like snowflakes, I don't care. We may be alike in 90% of stuff, but our feelings and how we process those feelings and the depth of our feelings and what feels bad to you or me or someone else, those are very personal. And so we can't truly ever understand 100% somebody else, but we can love them through it and acknowledge it. So this is my little talk for you today. Now, another interesting note that I want to talk about quickly before we get into some of the readings is that I've had something interesting. So I'm really talking about this for people that have had readings that didn't recognize the person that the medium was bringing through, or other mediums out there that are practicing and learning mediumship, or charging or having clients and all that, because I found this to be interesting. I have had quite a few connector people. I'll give you an example. I had a client where I had a person in spirit, and they showed me that there was 3 of them together: the spirit person, my client, and another person that was a connector person between the 2 of them, right? And my client wasn't necessarily all that close to the spirit person, but they were close to the connector person. I.e., example, they have a friend whose sister passed, and the sister's coming through, showing me the friend, my client, and the spirit person. And then I realized, and I asked them, have you been talking to your friend recently? And the answer is yes. We just made plans to get together this weekend. And to me, that friend's loved one is aware of it. And that friend's loved one is taking the opportunity to step in and tell that, my client, to tell that connector person when they see them, i.e., homework, that they're fine and that they love them and that they're thinking about them. And this has happened quite a few times the whole summer during Lilydale, and just this week with a client, So to me, it's like, if that doesn't tell you that our spirit loved ones are paying attention to what's going on, they know when we think about them. They know when we're missing them and loving them. And so it's like, send them your love through your heart, send them that feeling of love. And, I walk around talking to my parents all the time out loud in my house, but I guess I can, right? Because I talk to dead people. However, if you don't feel comfortable talking to your people out loud, then talk to them with your mind, because they know, especially this holiday season, right? Because they know that we're all missing them extra. It's, the memories. You go to put an ornament on the tree, and it's the ornament that your grandmother made for you in 1975, and you still have it, and you put it on that tree, and it's a gingerbread man. And yes, I'm talking about my own grandmother who did ceramics and made this beautiful ornament for me. And I'm thinking about her, and I send her my love, and I thank her for that ornament. So don't forget to think about your spirit loved ones and send them some Thanksgiving I love yous, okay? Because these connector people, right? The loved ones come in, and you might be connected to someone else, and then you have to let that someone else know, hey, I was at a reading this weekend, and your sister came through. She is fabulous, and she wanted me to tell you that, okay? So I just wanted to share that with you, because it's been happening. And I didn't know if that was something that, as mediums that are listening, have experienced that as well. All right, it is 7:14, and now I'm going to go through here and pick out some people to get some mini messages. All right, let's see who's still here. Lori Miller, are you still here? Lori Miller, I'd like to give you a little message. Oh, okay, awesome, you're here. Okay. Lori Miller. I think I was attracted to your name because that was the name of my sister, Lori. Okay. All right, let's see. Just give me a second here. All right, so I feel like I have a woman here in spirit. I want to put glasses on her face, but I feel like sometimes they were crooked. Okay. I feel like they weren't always straight on her face. I feel like they were maybe a little ajar at times. And I feel like she may have smoked at one time because I feel like, over there she can do whatever she wants. It doesn't matter. They don't have a body, right? So, but she's coming through like this. And I feel like, not sure that I have your mom. It might be a generation back. And I feel like her glasses are almost like cat eye kind of bit, and they look darker in color to me. But she is talking quite loudly and definite. I don't know if she might have been a little east from here. I'm in Buffalo, New York, so I don't know if she would have been a little, but she's got a definite different, a little bit of accent. Okay, your grandmother. All right. And I feel like she feels like she was the person with all the juice, if you know what I'm saying. She kind of knew everything that was going on in the family. And if you wanted to know someone or something, you would ask her because she knew what was going on. And I feel like she really kind of let stuff roll off. She doesn't feel like the kind of person that took everything real, hard or anything. Like, oh yeah, that's all right. Let's just, she's playing cards. All right. She just dealt me in. She's like, yeah, let's just get back to the card game. Okay. I don't want to be messing around with all this. I just want to play cards and have some fun. And I feel like that may have been her type of fun because I feel like this lady knew how to stretch a dollar. All right. And, but I will say something about her. I feel like she could make anything look fabulous, like her outfits, she always looked presentable, even if it would have come from like a thrift store or a yard sale or something like that. Do you understand that about her? I feel like she could really stretch the money. So anyways, Lori, okay. I do know that you lost your parents, okay, because it was in the messages there. And I feel like I want to let you know that your grandma was there for your mother or has met your mother, okay? I feel like they have connected. Do you understand? And as I touch in with your grandmother, I do feel like I'm sensing another woman, and I feel like she's actually, your grandma is actually touching her hair, okay? Like rubbing her hair on her head as if she would be giving her comfort, okay? So I don't know if your mom passed from an illness, but I feel like your grandmother has given her comfort since she has passed. Now I messed my own hair up. Fabulous. But anyways, who cares? And so I feel like, they have seen each other. And I do feel like your mom was not as forward, I guess, if that's a word. All right. I feel like she wasn't as forward as your grandmother, and I feel like there may have been some. I feel like your grandma was a lot. Let's just put it that way. Do you understand? So I feel like your mom and her mother have since, they are back together and they have figured things out. Because I feel like your mom was a very kind, softer soul, in her approach to people, if you would understand that. So, so I just want you to know that this is interesting. Okay. I want to talk about a small Christmas tree. Okay. Not the big one that you stick up in the living room, This is a smaller one. So I don't know if somebody would have had a smaller Christmas tree, but I feel like if you think about it, you'll know I think it's green. Okay. And I feel like it's something in the family. And I feel like both your mother and your grandma want to acknowledge it. Okay. So just know that they're around you. They love you very much. I'm hearing this is the message: make your own music. Okay. This is, yep, she left a mess. I have it in my living room. Okay. Thank you so much. The tree. We're talking about the tree, right? But this is what they're saying: make your own music. Okay. It's like they don't expect you to do everything the way they did it. Okay. I want to say you're a busy lady. Okay. And it's like, so do it your way. They don't expect you to keep up with all the family traditions of everything that they did. Okay. Make your own music, do it your own way. Okay. And I leave that with much love from both your mom and your mom's mom, Grandma. Thank you so much, Lori. Okay. Let's see now. Nanette Frazier. Okay, I see you there, Nanette. Let me know that you're still there. And you're welcome, Lori. Okay. Nanette, are you still there? Because I would like to touch in with you. I'm just going to go into it because I feel like you're still there, Nanette. I feel like I have a lady here in spirit, and I feel like this lady loved her music. Okay. I feel like, wow. At one point in time, I feel like she would have gone out dancing. I feel like I'm looking at legs and heels. She would have gone out. All right. And I feel like she knew how to have a good time. Do you understand? And I feel like I might be on Dad's side of the family with this lady. All right. I'm sure you can let me know if I'm wrong. Does happen sometimes. But I feel like I might be on Dad's side of the family with this. And yes. Okay. And I feel like it might be your dad's mother, okay, that I'm looking at here. And I feel like this lady could throw a really good party. Do you understand? I feel like she's putting out all the stuff, and we do have libation, we do have drinks, okay? And I feel like she could throw one heck of a party, is what I want to say. And I feel like I'm having a little bit of a trouble breathing with her, so I don't know if she had some COPD or heart stuff or whatever, but I do feel like that was an issue for her, was her breathing. And she doesn't feel so much like the, I got to run over and pinch your cheek and squish you kind of grandma, and I do feel that she did like to look good. All right. But I feel like there was a lot of love. I feel like, does your dad have a brother? Because I want to talk about your dad and a brother. Okay. I feel like she's saying they gave her a run for the money, if you can understand that. And that was an old time phrase, meaning like they could be quite a handful at times. Do you understand? And I feel like she's talking about that. And Annette, I want to say, I don't know what you do for work, but I feel like your grandmother is giving you all the kudos in the world because of the way you handle the men you're around. Okay. So that's what I want to say. So I feel like she's making references to you also having male figures in your world that give you a run for the money, okay? And she's giving you kudos because it's like you have to stay one step ahead of them, all right? And she says you're very bright, and also okay, I'm gonna rephrase this. You don't take any stuff from anybody. Do you understand? So I feel like she's just giving you a big, slap on the back for being who you are. Yes, it makes sense. Yes. So just know that she's with you. And goodness, have you also lost your father, Nanette? I'm not sure. I feel like I also have a younger male with her, younger than her. Do you understand? Would have been they are behind bars. Oh, okay. Yes, indeed. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. So we will definitely end on a positive note with you, Nanette. God bless you, putting blessings around you, and thank you. Okay. All right. Let's see. Who can we talk to now quickly? All right. I have Tara. Tara Roundsville. All right. Love both my I think you say lost both my parents in the past 3 years. It's been so hard and I cry every day. Honey, that happened to me too. I mean, I was that was like, I don't know, 12 years ago. So I was in my early 50s, but I lost my mom, and then 2.5 years later I lost my dad. And it's surreal, honey. There is no guidebook to, help you get through your grief, all right? And it's like, the best thing I can tell you is you just have to feel it and let it go, because, and then it'll come up again, and feel it and let it go. And, when you get to the point where you can think about your parents without all the tears, but some funny things, try to think about some funny things that happened in your life. When you can get to the point where you can have a little laugh about one of them, like my mother, she used to get all the lyrics to all the words, all the songs screwed up. For instance, that one song that Nelson Burton Cummings would sing, like Stand Tall, right? No, she'd be screaming at the top of her lungs, stencil, stencil. Mom, that's not a word in the song. But what I'm saying is that memory, when I think about that, makes me laugh. So honey, if you can find a memory that makes you laugh, that will help you a little bit. It's not going to help a lot all the time, but it will help you a little bit. Okay. So, yeah. So Tara, let me see if I can feel in and get somebody for you. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. So for some reason, I'm getting the song Knock 3 Times. Okay. I don't know if you've been getting any type of signs from your parents, or, little things happen, finding things, stuff like that. But I'm hearing that song by Tony Orlando and Dawn, Knock 3 Times on the Ceiling, that one. Which is interesting because I think that's how the Fox sisters started their whole thing with the spirit in the basement was the knocks. But what I want to say is I want to encourage you to pay attention more to what's going on around you. I feel like your dad, okay? I feel like your dad is stepping forward, and I feel like he's trying to get your attention, okay? He's calling you his girl. All right. So I feel like he's I don't know, he feels like a bigger guy to me, and I feel like I've got, this bear hug from behind, all right, that I'm giving you from your dad. And I feel like I want to say I feel like people may have misunderstood him. I feel like he was very passionate about his beliefs. Do you understand? And I feel like people may have took that for him to be grumpy and growly and stuff like that. But I feel like he really was more of a teddy bear. Do you understand? Inside, and I feel like, he's aware of your pain, dear, and so I feel like he's trying to give you a bear hug. Okay, so but I want to tell you, pay attention to what's going on around, and maybe you will sense that he's there. Okay. He was no nonsense is what I want to say. I feel like he didn't take too much stuff from anybody, and I feel like he was very protective of his people. Yes, people saw him as a grumpy man, but he was a gentle, kind man. Thank you, because that's how he feels to me. He feels like he was a little teddy bear inside, and you understood that, and he knew you understood that, and he calls you his girl. Okay, so don't forget it. Know that he's around you, and so much love. Okay. um I gotta give you this. Okay, you know how when you're little that you get a dandelion, and it turns into that little thing that you blow when you say make a wish. He's looking at me, and he's blowing on the dandelion seeds, and he's saying, honey, make a wish. So I don't know how that works for you. I don't know if that was something that you used to do together, something that he taught you how to do, but he's oh, I'm getting chills everywhere on my body, and it's so heartfelt. He's just like, make a wish, honey. Okay, so I'm going to give that to you. So thank you, Tara. I'm going to leave your dad with you with all kinds of love. All right. Um, let's see. I still have a good amount of time here, so I'm going to see if I can find somebody else. Let's see. Okay. Amy Madison Zazorek. I'm going to give it my best shot. Okay. I don't know if that's correct, but I think you'll know. I think you'll know who I'm talking about. Szozorek. Zazorek, I think. Okay. Are you there, Amy? Because I would like to give you a little reading if you are. Amy, I feel I'm just going to go into it. All right. If you're here, oh, I got it. That's because I used to be, I was married into a very Polish family, and I think I kind of learned the verbiage, So anyways, yes. Okay. Amy, let me see. Well, Amy, it's interesting. I have a little dog here that pops in first. It looks, I think, it's kind of caramel in color. It's got a little face. To me, it looks like a Pekingese right now, but it could be something else that has a little pointy nose. All right, but I have a little dog here. It is a little small. It's a smaller dog. Okay, and I just feel like the ones that kind of yip yip yip. Nothing against them. Just saying. I feel like that little dog just scooted right in. So I'm hoping it's for you. If it's not, maybe it's for the next person. Okay. But I just want to let you know that dog just hopped right in front of me. Got the fluffy tail, All right. So let's see, Amy, where was I with this? Amy, I feel like I have a man in spirit for you. And I don't know if he's family. Okay. I feel like he may be somebody that you worked with or as a friend, something like that. I feel like he lost a lot of weight. Okay. Lost a lot of weight. It was illness. Okay. He passed from an illness. He lost Okay, Kathleen, you have a you had a Pekingese with a fluffy tail. All right, it might be yours. All right, because Amy hasn't claimed the dog, so it could be yours. Um, Anywho, so this man, he feels on the taller side to me. Um, Everybody liked him. Okay, I feel like everybody just liked him so much, and I feel like he worked with a lot of people. Okay, and I don't know if he worked in a school system or, in a big office or something, but I feel like, goodness, Amy, I feel like this man, his passing was just such a shame, way too young. And he left a big hole, he was the one that kind of got everybody together, if you know what I'm saying. Do you know who this man is, Amy? um, Let me know, because I feel like he wants to thank you for your caring, your kind deeds, and goodness, caring, your kind deeds, and helping to pick up where he left off. Okay? Huh. So it's kind of specific. I hope you know who this man is. I hope he is fine. That he's giving you thanks for picking up where he, oh, not sure, lost your husband too young and he was tall. He didn't come in super close to me, but what did he do for a living? And was it an illness? Because he just lost so much weight. Okay, I just feel like he got so thin, compared to how he was. Um, huh. I can't say for sure that it's your husband, honey. I don't want to mislead you, but what I'm saying, he is thanking you for picking up where he left off. So I don't know if you have children that, or, but I thought that maybe cancer, but he didn't get too thin. I don't know if this is your husband or not. Okay. So I'm going to see if I can get what I call the nugget. All right. I'm going to ask him for something that you would know for sure who he is. Okay. Let me see. All right. I'm going to give you this. And I don't know if it means anything to you, but I'm going to give it to you. He's showing me a lighthouse. All right. So he's showing me a lighthouse. I feel like it was a place that he would have went to. I feel like there's meaning. Okay. There's meaning to this lighthouse. Okay. And, you know, something that maybe the two of you would have done together. I'm not sure, but it's a lighthouse. Okay. And I feel like there's a lot of love and appreciation for you from this man. So I'm going to I hope that lighthouse meant something to you. I feel like I might be, of course, on the shore. Maybe it's a destination that you went, vacation, something, or a trip that you were going to go on but you didn't get to go on. I'm not sure, or but I'm giving you that lighthouse, and that is supposed to be something that you'll understand. So I'm going to give that to you with lots of appreciation from this man. Okay. All right. All right, Amy. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, it's okay. All right. Thank you, Amy. I hope when you think about the lighthouse, it comes to you, you know. Um, okay. It's pretty specific. All right. Sylvia. Sylvia Bennett. Are you still there, Sylvia? Sylvia. Sylvia Bennett. I think that's your name. Sylvia Bennett. Are you still there? Okay. Hi. Oh, it's Sylvie. Sylvie. Okay. Hi, Sylvie. How are you? Okay. I have a man in spirit for you, Sylvie. I want to sing the Anchors Away song, okay, which tells me he may have been in the military. Um, More specifically, I feel like he may have been in the Navy or he really loved boats. All right, one of the two. All right, but yeah, usually when I get that Anchors Away, it means that he was in the Navy, but I will get, I'm seeing the gray boat. Okay, so Sylvie, I feel like I have a man here, and I want to go back a couple generations, and he is I you know I kind of want to call him like Popeye, all right, because I feel like at one point he was very, very strong. All right, he's got the big muscle arms, and now I got this whole naval theme going on. I do feel that he kind of talked with a purpose. All right. As I listened to him speaking, I feel like he was very, when he talked, he was very like, this is what I'm saying, and I really mean it, and this is how I'm talking. Do you understand? He was quite emphatic. That's what I want to say. He was emphatic. Okay. So, Sylvie, do you know someone in your family that would have been, very emphatic? I feel like I'm back. I think I'm past your dad. Okay. I think I'm past that level, your parents, and he might even have smoked a cigar here and there. Okay. Cause he's got something in his hands, but not really, you say. That's okay. Yeah. And he likes to give his opinion. I also feel he would have had heart problems. Okay. I feel like one of my feet, I'm feeling my right foot is really got some issues. Okay. I'm wondering if he may have had some diabetes because that's usually what happens. Manny, I'm wondering if this may be your dad. Only because I feel like I'm seeing you too while I'm looking at this lady Sylvie, and I don't want to get him goofed up, but here, Sylvie, your father-in-law. All right, let's keep going, okay? Diabetic. I feel like he may have been diabetic because they take me to the feet for that. Very emphatic. He wanted his opinions to be heard. Do you understand? Not saying he was crabby, he just was very staunch, okay? And he wanted his opinions to be heard, okay? Your father-in-law. All right. I feel like your father-in-law wants to acknowledge a younger man in the family that is still living, okay? That's what I want to say. And I feel like he's very proud of this young man, and I feel like he's talking about finishing college or finishing some type of program that your father-in-law didn't get to do. Okay, so I feel like he's just very. I also feel like I'm seeing some machinery type stuff around your father-in-law. Okay, that's gray. All right, so I don't know. Yeah, metal. Okay, I feel like I got some metal around him too. Anyways, so I also want to tell you to let your husband know, okay, if he goes in for this kind of stuff, maybe not, okay? But his father, I feel like he's also wanting to let your husband know that he was proud of him, okay? I don't know if he was a big um, speaker of those types of words while he was here. Do you understand? I feel like he may have, sometimes he just didn't have the words. Do you understand? To be more, I don't want to say he wasn't loving, because I think he was, but I feel like he just didn't have the flowery words, he's calling it. He didn't have the flowery words is what he's saying. So I feel, oh, you understand. Awesome. Okay. So I feel like your father-in-law is telling your husband, I am proud of you, son. Okay. So if you could just let him know that, I feel like that would be a great thing. You have homework now. He was very business. Thank you, because that's how he feels like to me. Very, emphatic, straightforward, and not flowery with the words. So, yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Sylvie. All right, we're going to do one more. Just let me take a little drink of water. Okay. All right. Let's see. I don't know if I'm going to say this right. Chiqui Preciado, okay? Chiquis, Chiqui Preciado. All right. So I feel like I want to give you a message, okay? Oh, you're welcome, Sylvie. All right. If you're here, I don't want to mispronounce your name. Oh, you are here. Beautiful. Okay. I got a lady here for you, okay? And I feel like this lady could do everything, all right? She is showing me she was a fix it person. She also could sew. She could cook. I mean, this lady could do everything, is what I want to say. And I feel like it's because her husband, all right, I feel like he was either absent from the family or working all the time, very busy man, all right. And I feel like, I don't know if she would have helped to take care of apartments or something like that, but I feel like this lady, she knew how to do everything. Your grandmother, okay, is it on mom's side of the family? Because I feel like I'm over here with her. And you know what? Everybody in the neighborhood, people, they all knew she knew how to do everything, and they would. That my friend Barb is like that. If she does, she knows how to do so much. But if she doesn't, she goes on YouTube and she figures it all out. Right? Good night, Regina. She figures it all out herself. She's one of those can figure out anything persons, and that's how your grandma was. Okay, and I feel like there was. Not just her own kids, but I feel like other kids around. She helped to take care of those too. So, and I also feel she might have had a part time job as well. This lady was on her feet from morning till night. Do you understand? But she didn't care because she was busy and she loved life and she loved her family. And I feel like this is funny. I feel like she's kind of putting her hair back out of her face, but I feel like as she does that, she's showing me that as a young woman she was very attractive. Would you understand that? Because I feel like as she does that, her hair is long and flowy, and it's like she was very beautiful, like she's showing me a look into the past. Do you understand? And just like, oh, and I feel like she's like, yeah, there was a time, but she doesn't dwell on that, because she's just got too much to do. She's kind of funny. She's got a nice sense. Oh, okay. She's got a nice sense of humor. All right. All right. So let's see. What is her message for you? All right. What is her message for you? Okay, this is what I feel she's talking to you about. I feel like you're balancing something. All right. She's got two things. You've got something here in one hand and something here in the other. And she's saying, okay, she's saying, you got to put one down for a while. Okay. She's saying, you've got to put one down so that you can finish this one. All right. I don't know if it's work or school or something that you have to attend to, but it's like you're trying to do two things at once, and she wants you to put one down for a while, okay? And finish the one. Do you understand that? Do you understand that message? Because she says that you like to do things well, and you're not able to do both things well at the same time. And it's okay to let one lay for a little bit so that you can finish this thing well. Okay. So, this is what she's saying. Lots of love, too. I also feel like she wants to give a peck on the cheek to your mom. All right. So I don't know if you're going to see your mom, but I feel, yeah, you do same things at the same time. But I feel like she's saying you got to let one down for a little bit. Okay. Because she wants you to really focus on finishing the one super well. Okay. All right. So lots of love for you. And also, I feel like, she wants to give your mom a little peck on the cheek. So, okay, everyone. I just want to thank you for tuning in. I really, really love our time together, even though I can't see you. I see your names. I see how you respond. And I feel like, now I'm crying. My mom is in Mexico. I wanted to go and visit. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. But she's giving your mom a kiss on the cheek for you, okay? So that's what she's saying. Awesome. All right. So try to remember next week, right? We can only control how we react to everything, and it's our own personal responsibility. I will be at Lilydale all next summer, okay, starting in April. So, Lori, anyhow, we can only control ourselves, okay? So, put me in your little head there for next week when you're sitting at the Thanksgiving table and maybe something goes a little awry or not. But just know, everybody have a blessed Thanksgiving, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.